Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just talking about websites. We're going to build the actual blueprint for a web page that does more than just sit there and look pretty. We're talking about turning it into your hardest working employee, your number one salesperson, bringing in customers 24/7.
So let's just kick things off with a really critical question, one that every single business owner needs to ask themselves. Is your website an active, contributing member of your team? Or is it basically just a digital brochure collecting dust? Because we're not aiming for just a better website here. We're trying to build your best salesperson.
Okay, look at this number. This right here reveals a massive, massive opportunity. According to Unbounce, the median conversion rate for landing pages is a tiny 6.6%. Now think about that for a second. For every 100 people who visit your page, more than 93 of them are just walking away. That is a huge leak in your business, and today we are going to plug it.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, it all comes down to that first impression. What a visitor sees in the first few seconds, that's it. That's where the battle for their attention is either won or it's lost for good. We're talking about the space above the fold, and you should think of this as your most valuable digital real estate, period. And why is it so crucial? Because believe it or not, people form a lasting opinion about your entire business in fractions of a second. This little space right here, it single-handedly determines if they're going to scroll down for more or just hit that back button. This slide right here just perfectly illustrates the huge difference between telling people what you do versus showing them the result you deliver. I mean, professional marketing services, it's so vague it's forgettable. But data-driven marketing that helps small businesses generate more qualified leads, see the difference? That speaks directly to a specific person and tells them exactly what awesome outcome they can expect. It completely shifts the focus from you to them. Okay, now let's get into the engine of the page. This is the core psychological framework, the story really, that guides a visitor from just being curious all the way to actually taking action. You can think of this as a super simple 3-step recipe for your page. It's pretty straightforward. First, you hook on. You outline the key benefits, all the good stuff they want. Then, and this is key, you build a real connection by showing you understand their pain points. And only after you've done that do you present your service as the perfect solution to that pain. This quote from Alex Hormozy just nails it. The pain is the pitch. Before you ever start listing off your features, you have to prove that you deeply, truly understand your visitor's problem. When they read your page and think, wow, they get me, that's the exact moment that real trust starts to form. So you've made a great first impression. You've laid out a solid argument. But you know what? That's usually not enough to get someone to pull the trigger. To bridge that final gap, you have to build unshakable trust. And here's why. At this point in their journey, your visitor has one simple question bouncing around in their head. Okay, this sounds pretty good, but can I really trust these guys to deliver on their promise? Overcoming that natural skepticism is everything. It's the key to conversion. So how do you do that? Well, you use social proof. These are basically trust signals that show other real people have used your service and had a great time. We're talking direct quotes from happy customers, detailed case studies showing results, logos of clients they might recognize, or even official industry certifications. And this slide right here brilliantly shows the power of being specific. They did a great job is nice, sure, but it's weak. It doesn't mean anything. But they increased our qualified leads by 40% in just 3 months. That's not a testimonial. That's evidence. It transforms this vague promise into a concrete, believable outcome, making it feel totally real and achievable for the next person who comes along. All right, we've done all of the groundwork. We've made a great impression. We've built a ton of trust. Now we've reached the final and honestly the most critical step, the call to action, or the CTA. This is where you actually ask for the sale. First things first, a simple rule. Just banish the word submit from your vocabulary. Seriously, it's an absolute conversion killer. Why? Because submit implies you're giving something up, that you're losing. It doesn't sound like you're getting something valuable. It frames the whole thing as a cost, not a benefit. If your main button says submit, I promise you, you are leaving money on the table. So what's the alternative? As you can see right here, a benefit-driven CTA focuses on the value the person receives. Instead of a boring command like sign up, a phrase like get your free guide or start earning completes the sentence I want to in the user's mind. It's all about what they get, not what they have to give. And the data on this is it's undeniable.
Take a look at this chart from HubSpot. Personalized, value-focused CTAs don't just perform a little bit better, they perform an astounding 202% better than the generic ones. That's not a small tweak, okay? That is literally tripling your button's effectiveness. It's a total game changer.
So here it is, the final takeaway. Your call to action isn't just some button you slap on a page. It is the final, powerful line of the story that you just told. It's the climax. So you got to ask yourself, after building all that trust and telling this great story, what will your button say to create that perfect ending?